Okay, so welcome everyone. This is our final set of lectures. What we are going to look at today is the new product launch process. So we've looked at different components, we've looked at a case study last time, and we discovered how there were certain things that were not factored in the design in the initial stage, and there was a very costly way of learning. So when we look at companies that manufacture a huge number of products, say window air conditioners, split air conditioners, then the stakes are very high. We cannot afford a scenario where we discover field issues and then have tremendous costs of product recall and replacement. So what is it that companies do to prevent any product risk? How do we ensure that the product meets its intended functional and reliability parameters? So most companies have a process, and I'll look at I'll share with you one of the ways of looking at it in 4 steps. So this is common across companies, and they will refer to it as by different names. But remember, when we look at a lead time of 3 years for a product launch, it means a lot of painstaking effort goes into collecting customer requirements, validating them, structurally documenting them, and then creating evidence that the product meets those requirements. So the quality of inputs at every stage of the process is very important, and there has to be ownership. So we can look at 4 major reviews in a new product launch. So the first one is a technology review. Let's say we want a new product, and marketing could have a wish. They want a product that can provide 4 hours of backup, say for example. Whether or not it is feasible, at what cost will it be feasible? So the first stage of any product introduction is a technology review that looks at what are the alternatives and what is the level of complexity, what kind of prototyping effort has to be done, and then we generate a test plan. So in the test plan there is a development of technical plans, then there are parts and sub-assembly level analysis and reliability tests, and then we define what would be a test and qualification plan. So a product in the US may have a different set of qualification, product in Saudi will have a different set of test and qualification plan, and so will a product in India. So it's important to map those requirements into a document and then have approval processes by which those tests are agreed between different stakeholders. Then the next stage is, the third stage is a design freeze. At this stage we have evaluated design capability and readiness. So which means all the work that was done in the first 2 phases leads to clear evidence that the product will meet the intended objective. Then we do some FMEA and technical risks. So what can happen to the product? In a new product launch, what are the risks we need to be aware of? Let's say in a country like India. Sorry? Regulation. Okay. But that normally will be documented, and it will be one of the first things to be addressed. Something like in our case study we looked at vibration induced failures. So what is it that is not so clearly visible, evident? It requires an engineer to think through and validate that risk.
Maybe the conditions in which the consumer is going to use the product might be different from the conditions that we tested that.
Yeah, good. So give an example. Like in a lab we test the air conditioner at certain indoor conditions, so we will use a standard. So the standard will say 2719 indoor for performance, and then it will raise it to 3524 as per the Indian standard for adverse operating condition test. Yes. So dusty environment means the condenser coil may be choked. It may perform below its full functional performance, right?
So the place where normally air conditioners should be kept in an open area. A lot of times in houses you might keep it in an area which is not so open.
Correct. Very good. Perfect.
Room, not a room of sorts, but in a well.
No, right, very right. I'll elaborate. Many times we see an air conditioner where the inlet area to the condenser is almost choked, like there is hardly any gap. Or we find a condition where the condenser outlet is blocked. So at a short distance there is a wall, and the hot air is it's recirculating. So while the ambient may be just 45, but what the air conditioner sees is something in the region of 50, 55, and then it begins to trip. So good. Now I see that some of you started thinking. Think more. Voltage variations. So together with a high ambient, when more air conditioners are running, the grid begins to get stressed. So we will have a condition of low voltage. So when we look at these scenarios, then we begin to consider a test plan that will give us evidence that the product is sufficiently robust. Some of it will come from products that have already been launched and have been successful. So we will say, fine, this product is running fine. Let's do a stress test and see whether it can withstand just plus minus 10%, or do we need to go below. So for example, in residential air conditioners, the norm was to meet the IS standard. So we look at the IS standard, it has a condition for adverse operating test condition, that is plus or minus 10% of rated voltage. So the standard, you can comply to the standard by doing a test at minus 10% of rated voltage, 230, which will be 207, and then you can do a test at 253, 230 plus 10% at the adverse operating condition, and you can assume that this product will work fine, right? Because you met the standard. An engineer can say that, okay, here's the standard, I've done it. But in India, the conditions are different. So most companies will create an envelope which is representative of the condition in which, the real conditions in which the product will work, and then have a margin around it. So what do we do for residential products in India, single phase products? We see the voltage is going down to 195. So we devise a test where we will test the product at 195 at the worst condition, and then we stress it by switching it off, giving a reasonable time period of 3 minutes, and then switching it on and being sure that it will work. That is one component of the reliability test that will ensure this product will work as intended in the real environment. What it means from a business perspective is the number of service calls that you're going to get, the costs you will have in people going to customers, finding out what happened, and then just educating them. All that is covered. So you have a smooth product introduction. Then other things are noise. Now when we look at noise, we look at it from a standard perspective. So we can test a product in a noise test room, and we will define a number. Now what happens in real life? When the compressor starts and stops, there is a noise, and that noise is dependent on how robust is the installation, again with residential products, and particularly window type. So what do you do? Again, the mountings of the compressor and the chassis has to be tested, and there has to be the right level of isolation to prevent those shocks from creating nuisance for the user. So scenarios like this are mapped into tests at the design freeze level. So when we create a document which is mapping the market requirements, customer requirements, we would have done some competitive benchmarking to establish what the product will have unique versus others. So all that is put into a document, and then the design team is taking ownership from that point onwards of meeting that spec in a defined time and cost. So then what do we do next? We look at production release. So when we go to a production release, it is a very formal process where a combination of people from manufacturing, marketing, design, and supply chain are together reviewing into what the design team has done. And then there is an assessment of the level of risk that is there in some parameters being either partially met or requiring more time and cost. So I will share with you an example from a product that we introduced in Carrier. It was a window air conditioner. We were undertaking a compressor change, and the compressor change would pass through if we just looked at conventional standard tests. But when we benchmarked with reciprocating compressors beyond the test framework, so if you're looking at going to 185, 190, we found that there was a challenge with the compressor. And then there's a big question of cost. So here there was a cost of $5 which would have to be included in the product if we had to make it as robust as the current solution. So in those scenarios where there isn't good common basis for agreement, field trial is undertaken. So what we did was we put some units in the field, and we very quickly discovered that the standard compressor would not perform in the Indian voltage and installation kind of conditions. And we discovered that we would not be as good as competition. So what competition was facing as a problem would be there with the new product. So it was a quick learning with just 100 units and feedback collected from the field, and that was integrated, and we did take that cost increase to make the product more robust. Then when we go for production release, the manufacturing guys need to be happy to produce the product, which means their tooling, their ability to give the right output in terms of number of units per day, integration with assembly jigs and fixtures where needed. All that is an essential part of manufacturing, accepting from design that they are ready to produce that product. Then at production release also service is essential requirement. So the service guys will need to at some point in time either attend to a leak or attend to electrical problems or do compressor replacement. So they get an opportunity at the production release QRB to be able to give their opinion and be stakeholders in a process that leads to product release. Now this, you will notice, is very different from what we discussed in the case study on railways, which was a more B2B environment. The customer requirement is pretty much there is more involvement, and then the risk is jointly taken because it was being done the first time. And here there is a formal process. Maybe a few 100,000 units will be in market in a few months, and the level of resource that is dedicated for test and qualification is very, very different. During a technology review, I have put in some bullet points. So customer needs are mapped and addressed. So what would be a good example of mapping voice of customer into a technology review? So here again I'll give you an example. Residential product, and there is a need from the market that we need to integrate fan operation with the electronic controls. So we all used to using an air conditioner and then having a sleep mode, and the sleep mode takes care of a temperature increased in steps of 1 degree over 2 hours automatically. But what would it be like if we cut down the power consumption by switching off the compressor, let's say at 3 or 4 o'clock based on user preference, and we switch on the fan? So it's a new feature, it can differentiate a product, and what would it take in terms of integrating it into the control logic? So it requires the marketing and sales team to interact with a few customers using focus group studies, including that, agreeing to it, and then there is a cost assessment. And when we are doing a new design, the relative cost adder is small, because making a change in the program, putting an algorithm, putting a relay is almost insignificant cost when we are having the resource. So the controller can be programmed, you can put in options, and all that was quickly integrated, and this became a part of a global design. Although the feature is not available, it is an optional feature. So the time the product was launched, it wasn't included. But this is an example on how a voice of customer can be integrated at the stage of technology review. And then of course it includes competition benchmarking. Then there is a basic, so when I say DNR, it is design and reliability spec, which maps what we talked about. And a Marciano chart, and then a product concept. So some assessment on how the product will look like. If you're going to look at a high energy efficiency ratio, what are the means to getting there? Is it a higher efficiency compressor? Is it a larger condenser coil? Are we using some other new technology means? All that comes in. Then there is an expectation of what is new, unique and different. So we want to look at a case study in which I will share with you a particular feature which was new, unique and different. Then summary of the risks, if there are any patent issues need to be looked at, and then there is a employee health and safety. So what are the materials that different operators would get exposed to during the manufacturing of this product, during manufacturing, and then again during service or the end user. So this again gets into a very formal process. Now for a technology review to be successful, the technology has to be tunable and robust, on target with minimal variation to meet the performance requirements and program schedule. So here it is a group of management people who have experience but are not directly involved in executing the project. So there is a project team, and then there is a group of people who are going to be saying yes or no. So success means they get approval from those people. So when we have a senior group with experience but having no direct stake, and they are the people who are approving going to the next level, and the approval is significant because it means spending resources, money, and prioritizing that project over several other things that the company could be doing. And then there is a process of using a design scorecard which determines what level we are achieving the intended parameters. Then in the next stage, test plan expectation, we have from a draft design and reliability document, we go to a firm and final reliability document. Summary of voice of customer, benchmarking. So all that we said we will do, we have done in this stage, and then management is happy to accept those results for going forward. Then we would have some system level modeling to predict what all variants can come out of a product. And then when we say system architecture and configuration, so many a times we will see, and this is very similar to what happens in automobiles, happens in air conditioners also. You have a platform which is going to address 3 different markets. So the window air conditioner product I'm talking to you about was addressing the market in Saudi Arabia, India, and Brazil. So now these 3 countries have their own set of unique standards which are local, and the voltage is different in Saudi and in India. And for that we will need to have some modularity. So we could have the same heat exchangers, but we would have different compressors. And then if we were to have variants of high energy efficiency product, then we would have a high efficiency variant for each market. So that is what I mean by system architecture and system configuration. And then validation of concepts, performance results based on at least 4 units. So to avoid any kind of experimental error or something happening because of very, very unique components, variation is addressed. So we are talking about achieving a particular energy efficiency ratio or cooling capacity. It's not enough to just have one prototype. We need to see what is going to happen with 3 or 4 units. What is the level of variation that is going to happen? Can we guarantee that the product which is coming out of production lines will be within reasonable tolerance levels? So that's why we look at more than 3 units. Then we touched upon robustness and tunability a little while back when we said we do tests at lower voltages than the standard may require. We try and map what happens in the environment. And then we also need to demonstrate reliability roadmap. So that could include doing stress tests on individual components as well as the whole product. And I'll touch upon some of those reliability tests in the next slides. And then if there are new softwares to be developed, so while air conditioners look like a mechanical product, but the control algorithms that are there involve electronics, and then there is a lot of feature integration that happens based on those algorithms. So to give you a glimpse, we may have an algorithm which ensures that the compressor runs for a minimum of 3 minutes after it starts, or a minimum of 1 minute after it starts, so that oil returns back. And when it is switched off, it is off for a period of 3 minutes, so that there is no stress because of pressure difference across the compressor. So these are 2 examples. And the sleep mode, which is a function again requires electronic integration. So an algorithm, in what period of time the temperature will rise. Will it rise with reference to the set point? Will it reset to the set point after the cycle is over? So the moment we start getting down into details of product design and executing it, there is a lot of formal agreement that needs to be reached for individual teams to work in parallel. And finally, we have a complete product qualification, testing and verification plan. So this product qualification, testing and verification plan will not only address external standards that must be complied with from a regulatory perspective, but also the reliability tests that have been assessed internally and any unique feature integration that has been agreed at the design stage. Very often things don't go as expected. So when things don't go as expected, there is a corrective action, and normally there could be time and cost implications for that. So there would be, that will be listed and agreed to in terms of approach. Any risks to program schedule. So very often we see that there is a motor which is having a risk of failure because of rain. You suddenly discover it has some holes and you need to change it. So there is an implication on the supplier availability of that particular part, what it will take for him to modify and get back. It has an impact on when the product is available. Again, things that come up in a formal review and are openly documented and agreed. And then one of the ways of keeping this whole thing very objective is to have two subject matter experts who are not connected with the project evaluate and give their assessment. And some of the terminology here when you're looking at freezing a design is that all the reliability this you discussed, suppliers. So supplier selection and capability is another important part before we can get down to any realistic estimates of volumes that can go to market. When we say ECS, it is an engineering check sample, and test results are complete. So engineering check sample is different from the initial check sample, which is more closer to a prototype. Engineering check samples means they can be reproduced. You have more than 3 or 4 units. Then we've talked about production assembly layouts. So if there are changes, so very often we're introducing a new product with a refrigerant change. It would require a new charging station. It may require a new approach to handling how the unit is going to be charged. It might mean shorter exposure of the product to air. So when we move from a mineral oil based refrigerant like R22, short exposures to ambient air are not very critical. But the moment we go to refrigerants like 410A, the oil that is used for lubrication is very hygroscopic. So operators who are used to handling it the old way end up spoiling the compressor, because short duration of exposure, the moisture gets in, it binds with the polyol ester kind of oil, and then we see performance impact. And the same thing applies for service. Wherever there is a change, a new feature leading to a different way of servicing the unit, we would need a, and then proper documentation in the parts catalog, ways of removing and replacing components. So as we can see, the whole thing is very, very formal structured when we look at high volumes and high risks. Now earlier we were looking at mapping the operating environment, so I put down a few other things in addition to temperature and loads is refrigerant migration and start-stop situations. So we typically would not use the air conditioner in the months of November to say February, and in that period, if the outdoor unit in a split system is in a cold environment, the refrigerant tends to collect inside the compressor, and then the first time we start it, the oil together with the refrigerant goes out of the compressor, leaving the compressor without any oil, and that can lead to quick seizure and failure. So those kind of tests can be envisaged. So what is normally done to replicate that scenario is we create a condition where we put ice around a condensing unit and we let it rest for a period of 24 hours. So the compressor and the condensing unit exposed to something like 0 degrees centigrade for 24 hours, and then we run the compressor, and we get special compressors where we can monitor the level of oil. So to be able to verify that this product will not have a risk because of refrigerant migration, we need to guarantee that there will be a certain minimum oil even in this worst scenario. Once that happens, then the product is allowed to go forward. Otherwise, it is a reset. Do what it takes to get the compressor robust enough to handle liquid migration. Then some of the start-stop scenarios can be again unique. So when we normally consider a product, it is expected to be a 1 or 2 unit installation, but many times the same product is installed in hotels or restaurants where there are 10, 12 units, all of them coming on at the same time, puts a heavy inrush load on the grid or on the transformer or whatever is the connection. So this again can be looked at, and what can be a feature which can stagger their starting. So you have a power failure, and then all 15 units or 100 units wanted to come on at the same time. What can be done so they are staggered? Again, there are features which can be integrated into the electronics algorithm. So you have a random number. So one of the units will start within a second, another unit may take up to 10 or 15 seconds. So depending on how you program it, you can make it smarter and then prevent adverse situations coming up. Then one of you already identified this risk, buildup of dust and how it can impact. So probably you're talking about condenser. The same thing happens in the evaporator, and it happens in the evaporator more because the evaporator is wet. So first the filters catch the dust, and then if we continue to delay cleaning the filter, some of the dust goes onto the coil and begins to create a thick crust, and then the heat transfer gets impacted. So we begin to see the unit operating at lower pressures, cooling is impacted, you might even have freeze up or frost conditions on the unit. And then when we install a unit outdoors, what all can happen? So it's very windy in a coastal area, and if you have the fan opposing the wind, obviously something we will not encounter in a test room condition. So what are the things we can do there? Right now I'm not aware of manufacturers addressing this by design. Very few environmental chambers that can create artificial wind scenarios. So probably a few in the US, otherwise it is not something that it's addressed more by recommendations at the time of installation. Or for large units, we make the condenser air discharge vertically. So no matter what the wind direction, it's only going to help the air get into the condenser and discharge. But something you have to keep in mind that not every site is conducive to a vertical air discharge. If it's in a shed, the height available above the fan could be a. So there are, for example, designs where you can create a horizontal discharge condenser, and at site you can just modify it, so you can relocate the fans. So you have a box, and the air is taken from one side being thrown to another, and then it's not conducive to site, so you can remove the panel and put it on top. Not all units have this feature functionality built in, but there are some units which are keeping this in mind. So you can do it at site, either vertical or horizontal. And that's how you address some of these limitations by design. Even after installation, you discover this to be a problem, and a unit which has that modularity and the convertibility built into it, you can just remove one panel, swap it with another, and you overcome a constraint, and you have a reliable product operation. Then I think we have not discussed any time the type of tests we can do for checking performance. So there are two types of tests for residential and light commercial units. One is a psychometric test, not the psychology one, but the psychrometric. And the second one is the balanced ambient calorimeter. So psychometric, if you've done anything in thermal, you might have seen some, you have had exposure, right? Psychometric chart you have exposure to, but test. So this is a type of test where you use the principles of psychrometry. So what you do is, so let's say we have a chamber like this. So one of the chambers is the hot side, another chamber is the cold side. And we measure the flow of air by using a duct. So there is a standard which specifies the diameter of the duct, and then through the duct we have the entire airflow of the unit go through the duct. We neutralize the pressure drop in the duct by putting in a booster fan. And this requires a certain technical capability to measure the static right at the outlet of the unit, so that when we are testing, we are not disturbing as the unit would operate if there was no duct. So the unit here is going to come into an opening which is in the wall. So this separating wall, and let's say this is a window unit, it gets connected to this wall, and then there is another side where we have a duct. So the duct connects to the supply air portion of the unit, and then inside that duct there's a chamber which has nozzles in it. So the pressure drop across the nozzles gives us a very accurate indication of the total airflow. However, if we just put the duct, we would have changed the unit from its normal operating condition, because it is going to overcome the resistance in the ducts. So therefore we put a booster fan, and the booster fan flow rate or rather the static pressure of the unit is adjusted to 0 at the outlet, so that we replicate the condition as the unit would operate if there was no duct. So that gives us a measure of the flow of air, and then from the psychrometric chart we can get to know the enthalpy of air at supply condition and at return condition, that is the condition in which we are maintaining the room. So this difference, the density of air and the two conditions would give us the rate of cooling. So this is one method. This is the method which is used in development of units. So all air conditioner manufacturers, first when they are doing prototype test, which is initial check sample or engineering check samples, would use this method. When it comes to compliance to standards, then the method used is a balanced ambient calorimeter. So what is in the next picture, I can show you some examples of typical test rooms. So here this is a unit where there are different rooms with different temperatures, and you can see 3 rooms here. So if we were to even test a unit which had 2 indoors and 1 outdoor in a test room of this type, we could do that. So we could have individual capacities of the 2 units, and then when we use the psychrometric method, we can also make use of the condenser side capacity. So the compressor, together with whatever heat it has taken from the cooling side, it is going to reject it in the outdoor side. So we can measure the airflow in the outdoor side, the temperature difference across the condenser in the outdoor side, and come to an assessment of what is the heat rejected. So the heat rejected has to be a sum of the compressor power and the heat removed from the cold side. So this becomes a way of checking out if there is anything missing in the test, if there is some probe that needs to be recalibrated, or it's like a verification. So you check capacity from the indoor side and on the outdoor side and be sure that it is consistent. Then when you are doing all this, we need to be taking an average value of the temperature and humidity to get to the enthalpy. So a unit of this nature would be connected to a set of pickup points. So tubes with multiple holes, and the small blower here is essentially taking air from multiple points and passing it over the sensors to give us an average value of the air condition. So the supply air condition or the return air condition, whatever we are measuring, a sampler, air sampler like this would be used. So this gives us a certain reliable reading of the enthalpy. It will be derived from the wet bulb and the dry bulb conditions. So finally, when we have these, then what you said about the psychrometric chart is correct. So you put it on the psychrometric chart, take the parameters and calculate the capacity. Then we look at tests for reliability. So while we did not discuss something called condensate disposal test. Right. So in window air conditioners, you will normally see some amount of water which has been removed from the occupant side or from the conditioned side. Now that is used to cool the condenser coil. So there is a slinger ring on the condenser. So while all that is there, it needs to be validated that it is. So a condensate disposal test is carried out to ensure that this water does not splash into the inside or over the unit. So a test is done. So this is one of the tests for meeting intended requirements that were captured during a voice of customer. Then about dust and dirt and all that we talked about for the condenser. So you can map all of it by doing a blocked condenser test. So one of the tests that we found very effective in checking robustness for units designed for India was to take the outdoor air condition to 50 degrees centigrade and then block 50% of the condenser coil. So you cannot reliably create a dusty environment, but you can create a restriction in flow. So you have let us say so if you have, these are the tubes and these are the different fins. So what we find a very simple way to do is take a piece of cardboard and then just make holes consistent with 50% blockage. This put over this and the unit is tested at 50 degrees centigrade and if the unit is able to withstand this operation for 2 hours, then we can be sure that there will be no problem. Now, this is not something which is in any of the standards, but it was devised based on benchmarking and based on what possibly can be done in field. Now, the same test can also be used to test the life of the compressor. So, instead of limiting it to just 2 hours and verifying that the unit can operate, you let it run in a cycling method. So, you switch off the compressor, switch it on, and keep running it until the compressor fails, and then check what failed in the compressor, and then benchmark and compare with another unit, and that gives you a level of robustness as well as the life of the unit. So, this is another way of looking at the tests. Then some of these tests are there in the Indian standard as well, where we create an icing condition. So, what we did on the condenser was created a very hot discharge gas temperature or a high condensing temperature. On the evaporator side, we create ice. So, we reduce all airflow, we let ice build up, and then we allow it to melt and see that none of it falls into the occupied space. It can be pretty messy if you are having a split air conditioner on your wall, and one fine day you discover it is making your floor wet or your carpet wet. So, many of this is already envisaged and tests are done to make sure that this does not happen. Now, what are the conditions under which this can happen? If you have low refrigerant, the evaporating temperature can go down and moisture can begin to condense. If the filter has been cleaned for a long period of time, again this can happen. If the coil for some reason has been blocked during service or maintenance, 50% of the area, 25% of the area is not available for heat transfer, again it leads to low evaporating temperature. So, this becomes another area which needs to be addressed by doing tests. Then the next is frequency variation. So, during the railway case study I talked about varying it for purposes of vibration, but here again all units which use a moving component, and more particularly where there is no isolation between the rotating part and the frame, it becomes essential to look at a frequency sweep test. So, from 45 hertz, again talking about India, so from 45 hertz to 55 hertz in steps of 1 hertz incremental, we run the unit and check for any resonance occurring with any of the piping or components, any abnormal noise. The whole intention is to take care of units running on generators or sometimes the grid not behaving so well. So, typically the grid complies to within 0.3 hertz. It is unusual for us to expect anything in the region of 47 or 48, but when people operate units on DG sets, as is common in many of the commercial applications, even residences now, this happens and then this leads to failure. So, again during the planning of tests, we can consider this scenario and then do tests to validate that nothing abnormal is going to happen. Under an overvoltage test at adverse operating condition is something we discussed already. Refrigerant migration test again discussed already. And the measurement of tube displacement is connected to the frequency variation test, again to rule out any resonance. Torture testing, we discussed torture testing for the whole product, cycling it at 50 degrees centigrade. We also take components. So, let us say the motor, what happens to the motor? So, the motor has to withstand a certain life as a part of the unit. It again goes through torture test, start, stop, and the winding temperature rise is measured, and that if it is not complying, we need to redesign the motor. And there are several things to do there. You can change the class of insulation of the motor, you can change the flow, the way the motor is being cooled, the windings, and not all of it as a designer you need to get into, but you need to have connect with the supplier who will give you back a modified sample which will meet and comply. Similarly, the plastic components or metal components for fan and blower can be put to stress tests or torture tests. So, you put them to very frequent start, stop, and then check for critical areas where cracks may develop. And sometimes you test them long enough that they actually fail and then reinforce them, because the process of making tools, molds, etc. allows you certain quick corrections at the design stage. Then we come to some tests for safety. So when you look at safety, and probably you can start getting interested here in speaking out from your seats, what all safety risks do you envisage when you look at an electrical appliance? What all have you normally experienced or noticed or think can happen? Short circuit is something very simple to understand, right? Wires close to each other, phase neutral, and a loosening of the wire can lead to that. Shock, so this is if there is no earthing or if the phase comes in contact with the metal body. These look pretty obvious and simple, but when you're going to make thousands of products, where is the termination happening? How are you using a particular type of a screw or a particular way of termination that you're preventing this by design? The first time, so for me the learning experience was when I was in Feders Lloyd. It was a not so formal design environment. When I was at Carrier, it was a very, very formal design environment, and many of these things used to appear very basic. What's the need to do all this? But when we looked at field failures and what happened with customers, it became clear that this was an essential part of the design process and needed to prevent product recalls and costs during service. And some of these are also driven out of the liability. So American companies would be a little more concerned about what happens to them if there is something that happens at a customer premise for which they are reliable. If they are liable because of missing design compliance. Now when I say fire, I don't know if you have encountered a scenario where you noticed a refrigeration device leading to fire. Right. In my experience, I have come across several reports from field where air conditioners and refrigerators have led to fires in premises. Now, why those happen? And there have been always different reasons in different instances. To prevent that from happening, we need to apply the best principles, whatever we know in terms of guidelines. So one of the things that can lead to a fire is if during service a technician chooses to do a leak test with either air or oxygen. And there was one place in CP where a person had a very unfortunate accident just because of this. He was using a shortcut. He thought he just needs something at pressure to check for a leak. He put oxygen, not knowing the risks involved. There is oil in the compressor. There is oil in the system. So he did all this and he just used the flame. The first time the flame came in contact with the leak, there was a blast. And there was loss of life. I happened to know about it because at a later stage I was called in to look at what went wrong there. So safety is very, very important, and it is that 1 out of a million you have to take care of at the design stage or at the, now how does the design stage, how can you prevent this from happening in field? So one of the things is communication. What do you put in your training materials? What do you put in your service booklet? What are the precautions that you communicate to? All these are there. And then what labeling is there on the product? So if there is a flammable refrigerant, in an earlier lecture we discussed that the move today is from non-flammable to some degree of flammability. Now how can we address that? It is proper labeling. So if there is a hydrocarbon based refrigerant that is used, if it carries clear labeling and color coding, the service technician is likely to take precautions. There is less likely to be a fire there than a scenario where it is just treated like an ordinary safe refrigerant. And then what can happen to the occupants? So if there is a high pressure leading to a leak, where is it that we are going to vent the refrigerant? So by design we can create weak areas which will fail first, which are venting to the atmosphere instead of venting to the inside. So that is another opportunity where by design we can make the product safe. And what else? Moving parts. So can we provide mesh such that the fingers are protected, finger guarding? Again, something to be addressed by design. So as engineers we tend to have fun, and when we meet the target in terms of performance, we find all this very boring. But when it comes to delivering a product that is complying with safety standards as well as keeping people safe, both the user and the people who are going to service it, including people who are going to manufacturing it, then this discipline and rigor is needed. So no matter what company you choose to work for and no matter what product you design, safety will be an essential part and it is good to have a mindset where you will embrace it and put in the hard work and the discipline needed to address it, then to be discovered in a very, very costly manner through field. So some of the things are to label. So there will be a national code, so you would like to have the live wire connected to the live and neutral to the neutral, so color coding. Installation, insulation tests, so making sure that the insulation grade that is used for different wires is meeting the standard. We talked about respecting flammability of refrigerants already. Then using fire retardant materials in the control box. So in a control box there is a lot of wiring, and there could be during for different reasons there could be sparks there. So if we have a material which is fire retardant, it is more likely to contain the fire than something which is flammable itself. And then during design there are reliability and safety tests that can be done. So you create ignition deliberately. So one of the things we did for residential products was to put fuel in the control box. So you take a cotton swab, say about 5 to 10 ml of petrol, you put it there and then you deliberately spark there, and there is a flame. And then you can look at scenarios with a fire retardant material and without a fire retardant material and the degree of spread, and that gives you some satisfaction that if you've designed it well, then the fire will not spread, it will just extinguish within the box. Then the distance between different wires, and of course very common sense kind of thing to avoid sharp bends in the wire. Metal, normally sheet metal tends to have sharp edges, and in internal components you tend to ignore it, whereas externally it is always addressed for aesthetics and product handling perspective. So to make sure that if there is metal, then there is a proper rubber grommet that comes between the insulation of the wire and the metal. And then the conductor diameter to match the maximum allowable current at the highest expected temperature with the right level of safety. And finger guards, outside moving parts like condenser fans, and then wherever there is a pressure risk, we can use an HP switch. We will also notice later that an HP switch can also be used for compressor protection, but also for preventing components like tubing from failing in high pressure refrigerants, particularly CO2. CO2 is used as a refrigerant, then a high pressure switch. Then I mentioned already the weakest part being vented away from occupied spaces, warnings on the product, and during servicing to make sure that air in no way finds its way into the system, and if it does, then it is to be purged using nitrogen before any attempt to weld it or use any electrical input. Then we will take a quick look at some controls that we use for the user interface. So far we looked at different ways of addressing safety, and now we're looking at controls first for user interface and then for protecting components. So temperature adjustment is something very common, simple. We need it as a very basic thing when interacting with air conditioners. Fan speed control, and here different algorithms are incorporated into providing an auto mode. So what temperature difference between set point and room temperature will drive the fan at what speed. So that gets integrated, and you can use that, or you could force the speed to whatever you need. And ease of access for residential products, infrared remote is very common, but then for commercial you don't want to be running around locating the remote, so you put in wired consoles. From one place you can control multiple units. So that again is something that you consider at the design stage in terms of target intended application. And timers if needed. Sleep timer we have discussed already, and it's also possible to integrate filter clean timer, telling you when it is time to clean the filter, and then you can reset it. It's a very simple reminder based system. On expensive commercial systems you can put in a pressure transducer, so you can take the pressure drop across the filter, and that can lead to a more intelligent way of defining when to change the filters. And then if there is a need to integrate remote monitoring and control, then all that is possible through modern day controls. I think we will not put too much time on that. Then we can look at controls for compressor protection. Compressor being the most expensive part of an air conditioner, there is an opportunity, and these are all commercially available control components. So a high pressure switch. So what it does is we map the operating envelope of the compressor and then define an HP setting such that when the pressure goes above the limit, it will switch off. And it is usually a manual reset type. So once the HP has tripped, someone will need to come and have a look what happened. Is the service guy charging it excessively? That could be causing high pressure. Condenser is blocked, that could lead to high pressure, or there could be some other so that is a low pressure switch is typically a self reset type, and that is because it can occasionally, because of environmental conditions, it can go there, but there is an opportunity here also to make it a manual reset. Then to protect the compressor, we can also provide a discharge gas temperature thermostat, and this has become more prevalent after introduction of scroll compressors. So scroll compressors have become popular because of efficiency, cost, fewer moving parts, but they have had a risk of high discharge gas temperatures more than the reciprocating compressors because of the nature of compression that scroll undertakes. And then there are delay timers to make sure the compressor suction and discharge pressures are equalized before it starts to reduce the starting current. So this is typically 3 minutes, and it can be adjusted based on manufacturer recommendation and what time it takes in the system to equalize the two pressures. Then compressor minimum run time is to make sure the oil, once it has left the compressor, comes back so that we don't starve the compressor of oil. And crankcase heaters are another way of preventing refrigerant migration. So when the compressor is switched off for long durations, the crankcase heater is a way to heat up the compressor oil so that that doesn't become the coolest part of the system, and therefore it prevents the refrigerant from migrating there and creating a scenario where the entire oil is out. Then when we look at designing electrical protection, this is normally not used in residential products so much as it is used in commercial products. Under overvoltage protection against reverse rotation, it is applicable for 3-phase compressors. So scroll compressors cannot compress when rotated reverse, so you need to have a way of preventing that from happening. And phase failure, the case study that we did, railways had this component so that the phase-to-phase imbalance is not leading to compressor failures. Again, these are all costs that we are undertaking so that we protect the most expensive part of the air conditioner. Overload protection through overload relays, and then there could be electronic relays. Short circuit is, both options are used. A fuse, in residential products you will notice a fuse which is only for the control part. In commercial you will see MCBs and even MCCBs to protect the compressor.